Paul and I were asked to host a farm tour on our farm. No big deal. We love having people out and showing them our farm and how we do things.
Part of a whole collaborative of folks who are putting on a series of field days this fall.
But as the day got closer, I got more nervous and more nervous. I was about to stand in front of 50 people and tell them my story. And that felt really intimidating. Then we're gonna go to the middle field. On the other side of the house, we have Joel Salatin style chicken tractors back there. It made me think of a time when I was in high school that I might just be here. This particular time, it's my senior year, and I'm sitting in my high school's really tiny auditorium listening to the keynote speaker at our FFA banquet. And I'm listening to her story, but what I'm really focused on is the way she's telling it. I'm so engaged and intrigued. I felt like I was right in the story with her. And then I thought to myself, I would like to do that. I want to do that. I want to stand up on a stage in front of a bunch of strangers and tell my story. And this thought was brought back up again when Paul and I went to visit Polyface Farm. We're touring the whole farm on the hay wagon, and Joel is telling stories about his boyhood and from being a father and relating it back to his farm. And again, I am just captivated by the way that he's telling this story. I want to do that. I want to stand in front of people and tell my story. And this is something that Paul and I talk about a lot on our 10-hour drive home. But we ultimately decide that we're probably like 50 years away from that kind of experience. I mean, who wants to listen to a bunch of 20-somethings talk about how much knowledge they have? Nobody believes that. You want to talk to the 60, the 50-year-olds and listen to how smart they are and their wise, vast knowledge. And then here we are. There's people here and they want to hear what we are doing, what we have to say, why we're doing the things that we're doing. So, out of nowhere, it's the morning of the tour. People are showing up, the smell of coffee fills the barn. Wow.
Hey! Stop!
And you just hear that dull hum of people mingling. I'm introduced and the tour begins. And we're walking through the field and I'm saying who I am and who Paul is and a little bit about how we met, why we have different chicken tractors and what we're using them for, how many times we've grazed the cows on just this 2-acre pasture. And the coolest experience that we've had farming is that pigs actually eat grass. And everybody's asking questions and listening to me so intently. And as I'm speaking, my mind is over here. We're standing at the chicken tractors for the meat chickens, and I just see this crowd of people around me listening to what I have to say about our farm. And I can't help but think back to that girl 10 years ago in that small, musty auditorium. This is not a stage, and I'm not wearing my blue corduroy FFA jacket, but I am here telling my story to a bunch of strangers. We end the tour in the barn and we go over some extra things from the sponsors, financing, making a farm profitable, and things like that. I made so many cool connections. I met so many farmers that are just in our backyard, and I would have never met them until now. I know that that's not gonna be the last farm tour that we host. And it's not something that we had planned to do for this year, especially planning to have a baby. But it has definitely opened up our world for not only meeting new people, but to extend that and bring even more people into this farming community.